My name is Shapla Bagum and my mentor is
Mushtaq.
So I joined Free Solicitors 5 years ago now, in 2014, as a legal assistant, and I was lucky enough to join Mushtaq's team in social housing. Mushtaq's a partner, and he was my first manager.
And I remember you. I thought, wow, you're a new member to the team, and I think you're a little bit shy, if memory serves me correctly, but you were eager to get to grips with learning as much about the business and about the department and what it meant to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was very shy. I was really quiet. It was my first kind of proper legal job, full-time legal assistant. I mean, before that I was doing lots of bits and bobs, voluntary work, working at charities in-house. This was my first full-time legal job and I was really nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I remember, because when I came out of university, I didn't have any mentors. When I went to university, I didn't have any mentors. I was the first person to go to university in my family, and I was the first person to do law in my family. I was the first girl to go to university in my family, so I had nobody behind me. My parents weren't uneducated, they were working class, so no one could tell me what I was doing right or what I was doing wrong. How do I get into a law firm? How do I get a training contract? How do I get a vacation scheme? So it was really difficult for me to kind of look towards someone to be inspired by. And I think you were the first person that came along. I thought, oh wow, okay, I could kind of have some kind of like relation, because you were also British Muslim and coming from a working class background, and I could finally find someone I could relate to. And I think you found that in me, that I was quite, I had no idea what I was doing when I joined.
No, you did. I tell you what, I think it's a shared journey, isn't it? It's a shared experience.
Yeah.
Like you know, our experiences aren't too far apart. Obviously, I'm not a woman, but other than that, our experiences are very similar. And I always, you know, I know from my own experience that most people, any successes, any achievements that they've had in life, it's because of the help and support of others.
Yeah.
And I know on my journey, I have achieved what I've achieved in life as a result of the help and the support that I've had. And I think that's really important. And I could see in you, in many ways, a lot of what I saw in myself. And we got on really well, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We got on really, really well. And you were great in the team, and that was the other thing. And I remember when we organised, you remember we did that charity walk up Snowdon Mountain?
Yes.
And you were brilliant, because you were life and soul of the party, but you were also helping a lot of people who were struggling on that journey. And I saw a real spark in you. And I thought, you know what, she'd be a great lawyer. She's got great people skills. She really kind of is focused on, you know, qualifying as a lawyer. And if I can help in any way, shape or form you on that journey, as it were, be as a mentor, be as a coach, be as a sponsor, then I'll happily do that if it helps.
One of the greatest memories of you, I tell everybody about this, when I joined the team and you used to take me to your networking events.
Yes.
Because I was really quiet, I was really shy. You said, Shapla, you need to be out there, you need to open up, you need to start talking to people.
Yeah.
So you started taking me to all your networking events, and every event I went to, everyone knew your name, all like you became a celebrity. And everybody kept coming up to you, Mushtaq this, Mushtaq. I was a bit taken aback, because everybody knew you and everybody came up to you. And you were just known wherever you went, and I felt that was my crown celebrity. And I thought, one day I want to be like that. I want to be like that. Oh, I want everyone to know me. I want everyone to know me in the legal circles and any circles outside. And I thought, I was quite taken aback. I thought, wow, how did you do that? How did you just go through your career and turn up to an event and everyone knows you? And that's why I loved that. Now I actually love networking part of my job. And that's come from you, because you took me to every event that you could. And it introduced me to people. You know, you didn't just, a lot of people tried to, you know, because I'm a junior, leave you. No, you were like, it doesn't matter if you're junior, it doesn't matter what role you play, you are important wherever you go, and that's what you taught me. And I think that's what gave me the confidence to go anywhere now, and I can talk to people on all levels, and that's one of the main things that you taught me, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, networking is really important, both within the organisation that you work in, because people have to know you, and you in effect control your own brand, your reputation. It's really important. And both externally as well. So internally within with your fellow, colleagues, also with your clients and other stakeholders, but externally as well. It's really, really important when you're trying to kind of make, new clients. You're trying to business develop, all of that. It's really, really important. But the other thing about you though was this: you're great at it. You are an absolute natural in terms of how you get on with people. And again, it's just trying to, as a mentor, as a coach, as a sponsor, it's just trying to remove some of those obstacles and helping give a little bit of confidence and putting you in situations that can help you on that journey. So I'm really pleased.
Yeah, I think you've taught me how to be a good mentor as well. I mean, I don't think people realise when you work in a firm, but when you have new people coming through, legal assistants, other trainees, I think I just naturally now try and help the legal assistant trainees coming through with what I've learnt and how to progress and how to do the networking side and how to do the business development side and how to be noticed within your office. And you're right, like being a mentor is so important, and that's what I realised as well. Like, it's not enough just to relish in your own successes or relish in your own failures. You need to be able to pass on those successes and failures onto other people. So I think mentoring, I want to say thank you for everything that you've done for me, because it means a lot, especially when I had nobody else to look up to, nobody else that I could help me, nobody has to tell me what was the right way, the wrong ways, and I'll forever be appreciative of your help.
But can I say, I'm really touched with that, but you did a lot for me as well. Part of being a mentor is actually you gain a lot from it yourself. It's really, there's certain things that you do in life, but I think one of the things that I will always take away is when you help someone in terms of, and you can see them flourish and develop, and that's really, really important, because I've benefited it from myself, and so I'm a real believer in it in terms of mentoring, coaching, sponsoring, all of that. And it's really pleasing to know that I've seen how you've kind of grown and how you've become this, you're on this wonderful journey. And if I've played a little part in that, that satisfies me greatly. So thank you for that.
It's I think it's getting better. I think we're moving towards, being seen as equals, and there's always this common conception where if a woman is seen to be stern, they're not seen, they're to be more bossy. I think we've moved away from that now. I think we've got a lot of powerful, strong voiced women, and we're still seen as equals, and we're still respected as equals. So I think having male models like yourself helps the cause even more, because we need males at the top as well to recognise women and stand up for women and support women. I think that's what's really important, that the conversations to have men involved, and that's why I've chosen you as my mentor as well, because it's not just women who are inspiring women, it's men who can also inspire women and can support women. So I think there are always going to be challenges, we're always going to work towards them, but we all need to be involved in the conversation, men and women. And even though I've faced some challenges myself in the beginning of my career in terms of not having my voice heard or not being treated as the same as a male legal assistant perhaps. There have been some occasions where male legal assistants might not do the same jobs as female legal assistants in terms of reception work or waitressing, maybe an event. But we are moving slowly away from that, and that's positive. But we need men on board just as women, because men are inevitably, a lot of them at the top, and that's where we need to take the conversation to start from the top and bring it back down to the bottom, and that this is what we're supporting. We need men to come on board out loud and say we support women and this is what we're doing for women. We want them at the top just as much as we are as well, and I'm hoping that's what this will bring out, to show that it's not just women who inspire women, males can also inspire women.
I absolutely agree. I think men are sometimes a problem, but I also think they're definitely part of the solution as well. Certainly in my 20 years as a practicing lawyer, I've seen a real change in the legal profession. If you look at the stats now, there are far more female lawyers now in terms of that are qualifying than there are males, and I think that's great. But I certainly think that there still remain challenges within organisations in terms of the culture, in terms of perception. But I think things are changing.
Yeah.
I really do think things are changing. It's a journey, and I don't think we're at the end of the journey by a long way. But of course, the other issue is not only gender, but ethnicity and class. So these are the other issues. And I think if you, I think sometimes some of the prejudices and the cultural stereotypes that you can face are not just based on gender, but they can be on if you belong to a particular BME community as well.
Yeah.
And I think that can be an issue as well. And again, it's really, really important that the organisations look at how they ensure that their policies and their culture helps remove any barriers or any unconscious bias that holds people back. Because ultimately, as a business, as an organisation, you want the very best people in those positions, and that should be free of gender and creed. That's really, really important. And I'm glad that journey. We're on that journey, and I think we're seeing some significant improvements. But the truth of it is, there's still a long way to go.
Still some part to go. Yeah. I think you mentioned one of them is the whole culture, ethnicity bias in the legal industry. I think I've kind of struggled with that myself, just because you want to obviously impress your managers, your partners, your team. You want to be part of the team. You don't want to be excluded, and you kind of find some difficult situation. Well, I don't want to go to a pub for drinking. That's not part of what that's not part of my faith. But I've never drank, luckily. But I think some people have fallen into that, where they think, oh, actually, I need to conform to other people's ideas, what they expect of me to be accepted as part of the team. And for myself, I've always been a rebel, so I never conform to anything. I'm always saying, well, no, I'll stick out, I'll be a rebel, I'll stick on my side.
Right.
But I think I've kind of sandwiched that kind of gap, and I've made people realise, actually, I don't need a drink to enjoy myself. And they've accepted that of me, and they've been even more accommodating, said, oh, Shapla, we don't need to go here. It's not got the right kind of food that you eat, halal food. So do you want to go here? So they'll be a lot more accommodating. I think we need to break those barriers in terms of cultural ethnicity and trying to include people rather than having this culture of excluding people because they're not accepted.
And sometimes unintentionally.
Yeah, of course.
Because people just are not aware of it.
Yeah.
They're just not, But I think you're absolutely right. But in terms of bringing about that change, you need people in leadership roles, because leadership can have a huge impact on things like policy, but culture as well in an organisation, where it wants to be totally inclusive. And I think it's really, really important that organisations, and law firms, not just focus on policies and process and procedures, but actually understand their culture. A lot of organisations will have amazing mission statements, but they've got to ask themselves the question, are they actually delivering on those mission statements in terms of true diversity, equal opportunity, and allowing, having a culture that allows people from all communities, from all gender backgrounds, to flourish without any barriers that precludes them from doing that. But I think, as I said before, I think things have certainly improved during my last 20 years since I've been practicing as a lawyer. Things have improved, but there is still we're still on that journey. There's still a lot to be done. But I do believe that people like you, Shapla, who once you get into your senior roles and senior positions, that you will naturally start influencing organisations at the very top, and even at this stage, absolutely. But then I think, you know, that plays a huge, can have a huge impact on inspiring others, changing cultures, and bringing about a real positive change.
Yeah, I think also, I haven't thought about this coming from where I come from. I think we need a wider access to recruitment promotion, in terms of we need to be focusing on class, and you know, the people who come from working class backgrounds, who don't have educated parents, who go into, you know, really good universities, but they don't know what the next step is after university. How do you get from a university to a training contract? And once you're in a training contract, how do you get to solicitor to associate, or whatever promotion route you take? We need to help people across those steps, because I remember what it felt like, and I spent many years wondering, what am I supposed to be doing? What's the right route? How do I get a training contract?
Yeah.
And there are people who are still in that circle. I mean, luckily we have a lot more people who do have more educated parents, who do have the support networks. You have career advice, you have all these law fairs. There's a lot more going on. I think firms are a lot more approachable now. I think they want to be open and be like, come here to us, we're here to help you. I think that the firms are doing a lot better job now, but we still need to bridge the gap between getting that access from a university to a training contract and helping those people who don't have that support network, which I did at the time as well.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm involved in something at the moment, Inspiring Communities, and I'm working with Birmingham City University, Professor Luke Mason. And what we do is we go to certain schools within the city of Birmingham, and we talk about the law, we talk about the rule of law, and we create mock trials, and we get the students involved, and often these are in areas of the city of Birmingham that are from socially economically deprived areas, and it's really about inspiring, you know. And we were at a local school in Swansett School, which is a girls only school, and you know what? It's amazing. You see the quality of students and how smart these students were. They were incredible. They were some of them were absolute naturals. But will they have, you know, but they felt that a lot of these law firms or a career in law wasn't for them, because they didn't have any connection.
Yeah.
There was no one in their family perhaps that had been a lawyer. There was a disconnect. And I think it's really important that these outreach programs, be it from law firms, be it from universities, are more actively engaged in trying to encourage and kind of raise expectations even amongst all the communities, you know, so to ensure that it's a much more inclusive legal profession.
Oh, I qualified as solicitor September, so
right.
That
Congratulations,
journey, I can't
well
believe it's here finally. So I'm looking forward to qualification, and I do a lot of things outside of law naturally as well in terms of committee. So, you know, my primary focus obviously is to become a really experienced solicitor in the commercial industry, but also do extracurricular things outside of law that would help the community, help people like myself, and maybe, who knows, pencil the Birmingham Law Society like you did.
Well, absolutely. Well, the thing is, I mean, this is all part of that growth, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got a clearly defined, you know, mission in terms of where you want to get to, and it's just making sure that you've got that roadmap that gets to your end destination. Mm-hmm. And I suppose in many ways, it's looking around you in terms of those people who you respect, whose judgment you trust, and then helping them to help you navigate that journey, because that journey can sometimes have all sorts of obstacles and pitfalls and missed opportunities as well. And if you've got people around you that can support you on that journey, then it makes it a lot easier, and it increases the likelihood of success as well. But my God, you should be the president of Birmingham Law Society, and you should be partner. Why not? If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, I remember your engagements. You had a lot of events to go to. You're constantly busy. But I do remember one night, one day in particular. Do you remember coming into the office, leaving the office at 6 p.m.
Yes.
and on Thursday?
Yes.
Coming back into the office in your suit, still in your suit and your tie.
Oh, the dinner jacket.
At
Yes.
7 in the morning.
Yeah,
So you
I hadn't gone
hadn't
to
gone
sleep.
home. You hadn't.
No, I
gone to
hadn't gone
sleep.
home. No, it was a very.
See, partners know how to have fun.
No, great. Well, you know what? Can I just say, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so pleased that you're doing so well, and yeah, I'm incredibly touched. I'm incredibly proud of you. I really am.
Thank you much. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for being part of my journey.